Pretty much right after each Georgia game, Brent and I text and we say, "What was the play of the game during that game?" Because that's been this new feature from Film Don't Lie here from UGAsports.com. And Brent, I think we both knew that it was probably maybe 3 plays in the running here. Stetson Bennett's long run, obviously being one of them. We spoke about that in Georgia's offensive successes from its week against Auburn. But I know you, and I know what you've done for PFF, and I knew that special teams effort and coverage and making the right decision and having your head up of what you're supposed to be doing. I knew it would catch your eye.
And game management by coaches.
It was obviously a pivotal thing in Brian Harson's attempt to get fired. Yes, I'm calling it that right now. So, play of the game for Georgia versus Auburn is the fake punt that faked out Auburn, I guess.
It was one of the more peculiar calls of the weekend. And there were some, by the way, there are some strange ones. It's like, by the way, throughout the day, each coach that seemingly wanted to trump the other, because like you had some things in the early games, like timeouts with Florida.
Just say Jimbo. Just do it. Just say Jimbo.
And then this, and then Jimbo just said, "All right, hey, I'm just gonna light the entire world on fire with this, call."
That was not giving the ball to Marshawn Lynch at the 1-yard line. That's what that was.
But think about this. So this is 4th and 6. This isn't 4th and 1. This isn't 4th and 2. Not even 3. It's 4th and 6. They have to get to the 40, which is, there we go. 4th and 6. Beautiful. Like they have to get to the 40. And what's amazing about this play, when you think about I think it was like 20 something seconds left in the first quarter. It was under a minute. And
late first quarter.
It's a 0-0 game. Like Georgia's offense is struggling. Now, granted, the previous drive, Georgia basically ran down the field on them, and then the Darnell penalty happened. Third down, then they couldn't get to third down, missed the field goal. But still, you've gone a quarter. And when you are sort of talent deficient in a game, that the other team is just physically better, you want to keep yourself in the game as long as you possibly can. And this was just like I didn't understand it whatsoever.
Well, nerd out with me and let's talk some special teams here because you analyze this much more than I ever have. So I'm going to lean on you to tell me what we're seeing here from a look and what Auburn may have seen to let this be a play that happens.
Well, obviously, Georgia's overloading the sort of offense's right side. And the interesting part for me was how Auburn blocked this, because I'm assuming that they saw on tape that, hey, Georgia's going to put this many on this side. They're going to put this many on the sort of left side of the center. Because the way these guys block, MJ Sherman is the one that's the key to me. He's right in the middle, right by the center. Yeah,
Sherman's right there.
He shifted to that side relatively late. So this is a stunt. And for those of you that don't know out there, I do a lot of special teams grading for the PFF, college, and the NFL. Like after we're done here, I'm going to be grading NFL games, things like that. But once he does that, because the way they block this, 29 and 13 both go down, and 50 becomes sort of I think it's 50 or on the other, right? He's the guy that's right on the white pole, basically. Yeah, 50. He becomes the lead blocker. And for a second, you're like, ooh, this might actually work. But the things there are so many things I don't comprehend about this play. One is why did both of those guys block down the instant Sherman sort of went to the other side? Because he took himself out of the play. The guy that's right there highlighting, like he ends up blocking nobody. That guy. Nolan Smith obviously makes a phenomenal play here and just beats a guy who's not going to be able to block him in space and makes a play. The other part is, what in the world is 86 doing? He ends up borderline tackling his own dude. I don't know where he's going. I don't know how he's not sprinting to the left of the center as soon as the ball is snapped is beyond me. I don't mind this. I wouldn't actually mind the design of the fake if 86 gets out in front and becomes another lead blocker.
Tell me if this is, it may be hard to snap it this way. What if 86 gets the snap and then you have two blockers here?
Yes, even that. Either or, but that a little bit harder of an angle.
Yeah, hard to get that snap, hard to execute that.
And it's also something it'd be an easier tell because you'd have to kind of tilt yourself that way.
Yeah.
But the biggest thing here is the 25 gets the ball. He has to gain 13 yards. Like from where he gets the ball to where the first down marker is 13 yards. He's not getting that. Barring, Georgia sort of fanning out and turning their heads maybe. Because that's how it's happened. We've seen that happen with punters, and they go maybe to kick the ball, but then they stop and they just run straight because everybody's turning their backs. But given that this is the type of fake, I was flabbergasted when I saw this. I'm like, what are you doing? Georgia scores 7 plays later, and it's 7-0, and you just handed them 7 points.
86 is a perfect representation of the next few weeks for Auburn, because it's going to get worse before it gets better.
And the 25 maybe has a chance to do a little something, but no, 86 says, no, all right, you're going down. I'm taking you down. And they say, who's he even going towards? Because he's going this way. Like, he's going at that diagonal that way. There's nobody there.
50. I don't know your personnel here. I mean, Nolan Smith is a potential first-round pick. He is that kind of talent. Just throw your body at him.
And you're trying to block him. Attacking maybe his inside hip. I think he kind of attacked his outside hip, almost like that play was supposed to go outside of him. But
this right here, the guy on Twitter that tells all the mama jokes, and I forget his name. Is it
the Coach 30 or something like that?
Yeah, That's a play that he's gonna really, or he could zoom in on if he wants to focus on Georgia and Auburn. Fist running down my leg, that's his thing right there. Not an athlete. He could do that.
One negative from a Georgia perspective here is young freshman Jalen Walker on special teams, very late recognition. That's him coming in sort of late. You got to see this quicker. Now he's there. He's kind of getting his guy, but then there, to me, I got to see that a little quicker. Outside of that, phenomenal play by Nolan Smith. Game-changing play, decision, and it just completely flipped the momentum to me, because the game had kind of reached this sort of lull of Georgia had, like I said, that previous drive had run down their throats, except for the penalty from Darnell. But I didn't understand this call at all.
Well, it worked out for Georgia, and it, like you said, that's one of those. Auburn has a good punter. Georgia had been struggling on offense. That was a gift that Auburn gave to Georgia. Georgia scored, and the game was it felt like it was over from there. I mean, even though it was close for a while, I don't think there was any confidence in Auburn's offense to go make
zero.
a tight game. So,
which is why none of our videos are looking at Georgia's defense, because Auburn's offense was very incompetent.
Yeah, and we may be the same way against Vandy. We'll see. I think Vandy's offense is more competent than Auburn's at this stage.
I agree.
So we'll find that out. Hey, I know it's weird that a special teams play is the play of the week, especially one that Georgia they didn't do a ton on this play, but it was a great individual effort from Nolan Smith,
100%.
and they do still have to make that tackle. Because if you have a fake punt that works again against you, then you have another.
Especially given the previous few weeks.
Yeah.
Because a little bit of a streak.
CBS had that graphics package ready, or that video package of fake punts. Well, Georgia stopped it, and then they just showed the ones that didn't stop, and didn't make a lot of sense. Poor producing by them. All right, that's been our play of the game for Georgia versus Auburn. Thanks for watching Film Don't Lie. One more episode coming up. If you're watching live, we'll talk about Georgia's offensive errors, things to clean up, and just some missed opportunities. For Brent Rollins, I'm Dayne Young. We'll see you next time.